What's up, guys? Ches Critta. So, been out of the loop for a little bit here. Apparently, there was a lot of confusion about the conversation that Corey and I had, and I will just state clearly, and this is the last time I will ever speak of it, is that the First Amendment stands with me. And go read the First Amendment if you need to know what that is. Now, as far as the oath to uphold the Constitution, I think that it is not open to interpretation. And I firmly believe in all of the Bill of Rights. The sad thing is, every single one has been violated at some point in this nation's history. It's a fine balancing act between tyranny and liberty. But if you have no absolute point where you say, if X happens, then this is tyranny. If this happens, then it's tyranny. If you can perpetually move the goalpost and say, well, the Constitution can be changed, so the Constitution can be changed in order to enact tyranny at some point, and that's constitutional, does not fly in my book. Now, I think Stuart Rhodes has done some great work in this field, and I'd like to quickly read the oaths that the Oath Keepers, okay, this is people that have sworn to the oath and sign on with Stuart Rhodes' organization, swear to uphold, real quick. Number 1, we will not obey orders to disarm the American people. Number 2, we will not obey orders to conduct warrantless searches of the American people. Number 3, we will not obey orders to detain American citizens as unlawful enemy combatants or to subject them to military tribunal. 4, we will not obey orders to impose martial law or a state of emergency on a state. Number 5, we will not obey orders to invade and subjugate any state that asserts its sovereignty. Number 6, we will not obey any order to blockade American cities, thus turning them into giant concentration camps. Number 7, we will not obey any orders to force American citizens into any form of detention camps under any pretext. Number 8, we will not obey orders to assist, support the use of any foreign troops on American soil against the American people, keep the peace, or to maintain control. Number 9, we will not obey any orders to confiscate the property of the American people, including food and other essential supplies. Number 10, we will not obey any orders which infringe on the right of the people to free speech, peaceably assemble, and petition our government for a redress of grievances. I can say, off the top of my head, looking at every single one of these, that there has been an oath keeper, not of his organization, I will say an oath taker, that has violated every single one of these rights on behalf of the government. So my point about this is, I've seen a lot going back, I haven't watched all the videos, but I watched Corey C. and Irish's video, the one he referenced, and I will say it again, you guys, there has to be some point where you say, all right, this is tyranny, okay? And the people, and I think, Irish, you said this, it was either you or it was Haas, said, it is the right of the people to rebel against a tyrannical government. It is their right, okay? Their God-given right. Now, the founders, I think the problem is the Constitution was so simplistic, okay? And it left a lot of room for interpretation. The deal with it is, though, there was pages, hundreds, thousands of pages worth of debate that went back and forth between the framers, the founders of the Constitution, and the Declaration of Independence of how to exactly, carefully choose these words. And they said, you know what? If all this, for whatever reason, if you guys can't keep it, if despotism comes, if tyranny rears its ugly head, if someone screws with your First Amendment, Second, Third, all the way through to the end of the Bill of Rights, then it is your responsibility. It is no one else's. It is not God's responsibility. It is your responsibility to throw off the shackles of that government. And this is a deal. Now, I was talking with a buddy of mine this weekend, and he did an interview video. I'll post it below. Trade of Consciousness. He was asking me about the idea of the silent protest. Now, here is my problem. You can't protest anymore. So you don't have the right to peacefully assemble. And if you do, typically the government will send in agent provocateurs to get you all riled up, and so they can book you all into jail. In California, in this state, I do not have the right to bear arms in the slightest sense that the founders intended. Not even close. freedom of speech is being infringed on. If you don't say the right things. So, what are we talking about here? I mean, at what point? At what point? And again, I hate to keep harping on this, but orders we will not obey to disarm the American people. It's been done. Okay? Hurricane Katrina. Warrantless searches, Patriot Act, done. That one's gone. Detain American citizens as unlawful enemy combatants. That has been done as well. If you're considered a terrorist, you don't get a regular trial, okay, under the NDAA. We will not obey orders to impose a state of martial law or state of emergency. It's been done multiple times, okay, since the founding of this country. Orders to invade and subjugate a state that inserts its sovereignty. Civil war, it's been done. We will not obey to blockade any American cities. Again, Hurricane Katrina, it has been done. We will not obey in order to force American citizens into detention camps, internment camps of World War II. It's been done. We will not obey orders to assist or support the use of foreign troops on U.S. soil to keep the peace or maintain control. That one is debatable, but we have had foreign troops training over here, so I'll leave that in the gray area. Not obey orders to confiscate property. Eminent domain, we can take your house if we want to. And the orders to infringe on the right of free speech, peacefully assemble. Okay, virtually every single protest that you don't get a permit for that is organic, yeah, you're going to catch a beat down from the cops. So my point is, okay, if all hell breaks loose, and I read the oath that you have to take as a member of the military, it says that you're not going to violate the Constitution, but it also says that you swear to uphold the orders of the presidency, the office of the presidency. So what if they are in direct violation? I mean, where do we go from there? What if the president says, you know what, I'm going to need martial law in, I don't know, San Francisco, California. And the military goes, well, gosh, martial law, I mean, posse comitatus, I'm not really supposed to be able to do that, but I'm not supposed to disobey the president, and, I got to look out for myself, number one. That's where the breakdown happens. That is where the breakdown happens. We, the individual, or I, the individual, rather. So, Irish, you're looking out for you. Haas, you're looking out for you. Corey, you're looking out for you, and I'm looking out for me. But when do we say, listen, guys, hey, look, I know we don't agree on absolutely everything, but can we agree on one thing? When tyranny comes to the shores of this country, whether passed by legislation or not, we can agree that we are not going to go along with it and that we will fight it. If not, then this whole thing is just an exercise in futility. It really is. I mean, it's we're just playing games on here. If you can't say that your God-given rights, for those of you out there that would harp on me about this, and natural rights, natural law, that they can't be taken away by man, if you allow them to be taken away by man, you never had them and you never respected them to begin with. Okay, now I'm also an advocate that says pick your battles. Okay, do not throw yourself upon the sword. And one of those battles that I'm going to try to pick, because I got someone that pushed me towards it, and it was an idea that I kind of came up with, is let's try to get the silent protest thing going. If anyone is interested, I want to get 1,000 people to silently protest. First of all, we have to come up with a structure, things we want. Basically, it's going to be about liberty, number one. And get 1,000 people in the state capital of California to do a silent protest. And for nothing else, either A, to catch a beat down if they want to take it that far, because we're not going to apply for a permit to do it. Number two, for media attention. Because a lot of people out there are silent. A lot of people aren't speaking their minds, guys. So I own a pretty good domain name that I think that we could use. Right below, message me if that's something you're interested in. We got to get the numbers, though. Without your help, I don't think it would happen. And the reason that I want to do this, is because if you don't start peaceful action now, everyone's bitching about the freaking loss of liberty. If you don't make peaceful action right now, and you don't start it right now, as in yesterday, it might be too late already. You make that violent action inevitable. And I don't think that Irish or Haas or me or Corey, I don't think any one of us, realistically, wants to get in a shootout with a tyrannical government. That's nightmarish, okay? That is lives, fortune, and sacred honor. Nobody wants it to get to that point, but it's gonna go there if we keep moving the freaking goalpost. So comments below, message me if you're interested. If we can get the numbers, I want to go forward with this. Because there's a hell of a lot of Americans that feel the exact same way. They just don't see anyone that they can turn to anymore. They look at the political system, it's broken. They look at people on YouTube, it's mostly talk. So let's get some freaking action going.